Hi, my name is Dr. John Douillard, and today I want to talk to you about love, the science behind love, the chemistry of love, and even some compelling evidence that suggests that our essence is love. You know, studies have shown that when people have all their needs met, they're being fed properly and everything, if they don't have love, they fail to flourish. We know that centenarians, people who live over 100 years old, the one common denominator when you go to all the cultures around the world, you find that what they have is they have really good social, cultural environments which allow them to experience love and feel very safe in their environment. Very important. Now, we as human beings are hardwired for love. We spend most of our childhood trying to get mom and dad to love us and approve of us. And sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't happen. But we always create a personality of some sort to make sure mom and dad love us. Maybe become a straight A student, maybe become a class clown, a perfectionist, a pleaser. We're going to do something to make sure we get that approval, that reward of love, that need to get love from someone else so we can feel safe and secure. That exact same chemistry is the exact reward chemistry we see with hunger, digestion, growth, development, and reproduction, according to one study, which is pretty amazing that that's exactly the same reward chemistry, all based, mind you, on the return of investment. So they also did studies and they found that love and joy and happiness increases the health of people. Better cardiovascular function, better blood pressure, helps deal with stress better, overall health indexes much better when people are loving and joyful and happy, right? But there's a hormone in the body called oxytocin, which is produced when we touch and love and care and give to another person. And when you produce this chemical in your body with loving, expressions, we see the same exact benefits. People's health indexes get better. They handle stress better. Their cardiovascular function gets better. So there's some connection between this hormone oxytocin and then the health index of love. Now, I should mention that we know that our microbiology, you got to think about this for a second. Your microbiology, when you are under a lot of stress, they are damaged, the good microbes. But when you love, give, and care, they flourish. So the question is, are we by nature essentially love? 90% of our microbes, 90% of our body's cells are microbes and they love love, right? We know that our body thrives physically. The other 10% of us thrives in a loving environment. So are we making a case that our essence is actually love? Well, we know that as young children, we create a reward chemistry where I need to be loved by another to feel safe and secure. Well, we need that when we're young because if we wandered into the jungle and didn't care if mom and dad watched over us, we'd get eaten by a lion and there'd probably be no people here. So we have that hardwiring as young children. But do we need to carry that for the rest of our life? Well, in Ayurveda, that's completely the game of life. That's the whole point of Veda, yoga, breathing, meditation. The whole point of all those tools are to actually change the behavioral patterns to need love to actually be love, to give love fully. Now, when we do that, we produce this chemical called oxytocin. And the more that you make of it, the more you produce it, the more you make. Now, the reward hormone is called dopamine, and the more that you stimulate a reward, the more stimulant you need to get the same reward. So you need a bigger cup of coffee, a bigger house, a bigger car. A culture that we have is, building more and more stimulating things, which are great, but they are addicting us to the reward chemistry. We never, perhaps, get the chance to access the truth of us and really let ourselves experience true love in our life. And if our essence is love, which a lot of science is pointing in that direction, then maybe it would be really good for us to learn how to produce the love hormone, the oxytocin, and begin to actually allow our cells, our microbes to multiply and evolve in a peaceful, loving, kind environment. This is such a powerful Ayurvedic concept that they've talked about for thousands of years. What if we created that environment? Would our beneficial microbes flourish? In our microbiome, we have good, bad, and neutral microbes. In the Western microbiome, we have a lot of neutral microbes, don't do anything except occupy space. And we have good and bad. And one of the ways to get healthy, according to the newest science, is to increase the good and get rid of these neutral guys, and then help the neutral guys become good guys so they can take care of the bad guys. That's sort of how it works. And we have many strategies. I've talked a lot about how to do that. But one strategy other than really good colonizing probiotics, is to engage in love. And in fact, that's why I wrote the Transformation Awareness Technique meditation course, which for two reasons. One, to help people learn how to meditate. I recently had a patient who said, I've tried to meditate, I just can't do it, because most people, when you meditate, you go right down to the deepest meditation. You try to train your brain to do some really, really deep thing, and the brain can't do that. So I give 6 meditations, each step taking you down to learn how to still your mind. Now, stilling your mind is the first half of the process of making transformational change and to access this kind of love chemistry in your body, right? To break the pattern of needing love and to create the experience of being love, which is who we are, right? So wouldn't it be good to just be who we are instead of engaging in behavior that is demanding a return on investment? And if I get the right return, then I feel safe and secure, and then I feel happy. And if I don't get it, I don't feel happy. That's not good for our cells, studies show, and it's not good for our microbial cells, studies show. So maybe if we actually engaged in action steps based on love, we could lay down neural pavement in our brain to drive down roads that are based on the truth of us, the essence of us, the love of us, perhaps, right? So that's what in Ayurveda, there's an old saying that says, establish being and then perform action. But the yoga and the breathing meditation techniques, they're all about establishing being and stilling the mind, which is great. But nobody, I just never have seen any meditation technique teach people how to take action. So in our meditation course, I hold your hand. Each meditation, I give you action steps to lay down neurological pavement to free yourself from the need to get love and the ability to start to lay down pavement and act on being love. And the more we begin to act on it, the more we are able to effortlessly drive down these new roads that don't need approval and love to be safe and secure, but we feel completely juiced by being love. That's our nature. The science is supporting that in a compelling way. And Ayurveda talked about this thousands of years ago, and the modern science is now beginning to recognize the value and the truth of this incredible simple concept. We don't need love and stimulation from outside of us to feel content. It leaves us wanting more. It's such a simple thing. I know you all know this, but practicing it is a different thing. Laying down some pavement by acting on the awareness you get in a meditation where you're still, that awareness then has to be acted on to make the change permanent. And that is what the main theme of Ayurveda and yoga is about. Establish being and perform action. Yogastha Kurukamani. It's from chapter 2, verse 48 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is sort of like the Bible of Ayurveda and Vedic science. And it's all about how to change the pattern of needing love to being love. Please check it out. I've written a pretty cool article with all the science about love and the chemistry that I think is pretty neat. Please read it, check it out. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. Douillard.
This recording is brought to you by LifeSpa, where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern science. Get access to free health video newsletters by Dr. John at lifespa.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.